You know, when you think of steam, you may think of steam engines or saunas or even steamy movie scenes. But what about steamy food? Hey, why not? I'm going to steam up today's meal and we'll be chowing down in under 30 minutes. Hey there, I'm Rachel Ray, and I make 30-minute meals. Now, that means in the time it takes you to watch this program, I'll have made a delicious and healthy meal from start to finish. I'm good and steamed about today's menu because I'm making cod in a sack. Yep, we're going to make our own little sacks. We're going to put a bunch of vegetables in there, fennel, onion, and then we're going to seal it up and steam it in the oven. I'm also going to make some asparagus and green bean salad to go alongside it. This is an incredibly healthy meal, and that's one of the benefits of steaming to begin with. Not only, is it easy and light and flavored like the dish we're doing today in the oven, but, steaming your food means all of the vitamins and nutrients get trapped in the pack with the fish and the vegetables. So you're not going to lose a thing. Now I'm going to put, maybe half an inch of water here in a skillet and bring that up to a simmer. That's going to be for our asparagus and green bean salad. Very figure-friendly, this meal, too. I'm going to preheat the oven to 425 because we're going to make our cod in a sack in the oven. We're going to build those sacks right now, so I'm going to start by getting the cod out. You want 4 6-ounce portions, or as many as you're making. This is one of those meals that it's very easy to make it for a group of people in the same amount of time you make it for 2 people. I'm going to grab some nice fresh fennel, some parsley, and some pitted black and green olives mixed together. And I need some onions and garlic. I'm going to grab that, bring it up. Now, when I was a little girl, we used to have cod in a sack. Oh, I forgot my pan. Hang on one second. I'll tell you the rest of that story. We need a little pan to put the sacks on. We put them in the oven. When I was a little girl, my mom used to get us to make fish by putting it in lunch sacks, little brown paper sacks. She'd paint them with vegetable oil or olive oil, and then she'd fill the sacks with fish and stuff. And we just thought it was so much fun to cut open these sacks at the table. It was like a game. So we would eat anything she put in there, and that's how she got us to eat our seafood. I'm going to save a few of the fennel fronds here and put this off to the side to chop up with the parsley. Really drive home the wonderful, sweet, licoricey flavor of the fennel. Now, the fennel bulb, it's pretty thick and tough, but, we would have this raw in between our meals as a digestive. And once you cook it up in the oven, it gets very mild and sweet and a little bit licoricey. If you like the flavor of basil, you probably like fennel if you don't know it, if you haven't cooked with it. And it's wonderful in this dish. It pairs up beautifully with onion. Now, the fennel is pretty sturdy, though, so you want to very thinly slice it because things that take a little longer to cook, when you're cooking them up in a sack like this and steaming them, you want to make sure the tougher they are, the thinner you slice. If you were using a carrot, for instance, that's got a nice sturdy texture to it, right? So you'd want to very thinly slice that as well. And you can totally play around with this recipe because what I want you to learn are not so much the ingredient list, but the technique. You could switch up the fish and the vegetables and, really play around with it and get very creative. We're going to make like a little assembly line here, so I want to take the time to thinly slice this and get through everything and line it all up. So once we start building, it's very easy to manufacture our sacks. There we go. I don't do a ton of steaming at home, I have to say. I don't have one of those steaming insert things. So when I make vegetables, I do it very healthfully, just like this. I put it in simmering water with salt. I don't have one of those, contraptions, the little racks that sit above the water. So technically, that's not steaming. Although in my family, we always say that. My mom says, just make a little steamed green beans or steamed asparagus to go alongside. And that's what we mean. We're going to put in a little bit of water. That's not technically steaming, though. These packs, they are steamed. We're going to fold the parchment over to trap every bit of the flavor and the moisture into the package. And it's so pretty on a plate. It's great to entertain with fish and parchment because it's so fancy. You put the packet out on the plate, and it's just a wonderful presentation. You cut that open and fold it back. It's very dramatic looking. Run my knife through that. There, we're getting in the home stretch here. Now, interestingly enough, It works wonderfully in the oven with absolutely no extra added liquids. All the steam rises, it gets trapped in there and keeps recirculating. We tried an equivalent to fish in the sack, my husband and I, out on the grill the other day. It's a little dry. We didn't get a lot of juice because, the grill is much more intense and the heat's only coming from one direction. But we flipped our packets around. We made the packets out of aluminum foil. And so we tried it again the next night, and we just added a little splash of wine to the packets, and it worked beautifully. We made red snapper puttanesca that way out on the grill, and it was delicious, let me tell you. This one is not going to be too shabby either because we've got nice, salty, green and black, good quality olives all chopped up in there with the sweet fennel and the onion. Excellent. I think we've just about got everything we need here. Just need a little parsley, and as I said, I'm going to mix in some of the fronds with it. And of course, what do I make without garlic, right? Now, the garlic you could just leave cracked. We'll put a cracked clove in each one of these packets, and the flavor of it will rise and fill up inside those packets and go all through everything, just get all lovely and infused. I think we're good to go there. I'm going to leave the parsley out because I'm going to pick some of the leaves for my salad as well. Coarse chop those, though. And I want to make sure you have time to see each stage of this packet. I want to get at least one made here. So let me get the garlic cracked. I'll just do one clove right now because I can continue over the break, but I want to make sure you don't miss a minute of building a packet. Here's how it goes, guys. Parchment paper. It's on your baking aisle in the market. You'd make 4 big pieces like this and lay them out, okay? I'll work on the corner of the board here so you can see what I'm doing. Open up our cod. And we're going to season up the cod pretty liberally with salt and pepper. We're going to put the fennel on the bottom and build up from there. So you take 1/4 of all your ingredients because we're making 4 packets. Little of the fennel. Scatter the sliced onion across that. You get the gist here, right? Some olives on top of that, and all of these flavors will combine. Little cracked garlic down in there. Then up on top, we're going to put the fish, all of our herbs, our fennel fronds and parsley. Drizzle it liberally with EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, a good fat. Doesn't clog your arteries, good and good for you. We joke in my family, it gives you a shiny coat. Roll that down like that. Then when you get to the ends, roll those up nice and tight. And that's all there is to it. Cod in a sack. I'm going to keep making our cod in a sack packs, and I'll meet you right back here in a couple minutes. Hey, welcome back. I'm Rachel Ray, and I am steamed today. I am making a steamed entree. It's called cod. Well, you know what? I'll show you before I seal it up again, just in case you joined us late. There it is. Look at that. It's called cod in a sack. It's cod sitting on a bed of olives and garlic and onions and fennel. And it's dressed with olive oil, salt, pepper, fennel fronds, and parsley. Now I'm taking my parchment paper, rolling it down. We're going to trap in all the steam and all the flavor and all the vitamins and nutrients. Seal it up on both sides. And look at that. In less than 10 minutes, we have 4 beautiful entrees. The oven is going to do the rest of the work. Just pop them in there, pull them out in about 20 minutes or so, and you're good to go. That's why I said this is a breeze to make for an army as well as just for 2 or 4 people. So we're going to pop this into our 425 oven and get working on our salad. I'm going to put it up on the top because heat rises, so they'll cook quicker up there. Great. Out of the fridge, going to grab some green beans, nice thin green beans. I have some water. It's come up to a simmer, about 1 inch of water in my pot here. I'm going to get my green beans trimmed up and into the pot. Now, in my family, as I said, I don't have one of those little steamer racks that a lot of people have as inserts that do a ton of steaming. So when we say steamed green beans or steamed asparagus, what we really mean is blanched or boiled in some simmering water. So where I come from, this is a steamed salad too. Okay, so you just line them up. I'll show you with the next, well, I'll show you here so you don't get confused. Watch. Take a big bundle of them like this, right? Grab all the stem ends together, a few beans at a time. Line them up and trim them off. There you go. I mean, you could stand there for half an hour and just pick the beans, but, you know, come on. Who's got the time for that? I don't. I even go ahead and spend the extra, quarter or so and buy the packaged, prepped green beans when they're available. Store just doesn't always have them. Today they had some really pretty ones. I don't know why they package them up on little panels like that, but they do, don't they? I think they think, oh, well, it looks fancier, ready to go. It's pre-portioned or something. I don't know. Anyway, we got all the kids ready to go into the hot tub. So, lid off, salt in. That helps retain the color as well as flavoring the vegetables, obviously. These guys will take a couple minutes. We're going to add some asparagus as well. Hold off on that. Let the beans go a couple minutes first. The asparagus I got, oh, it is so pretty. Pencil, pencil, pencil thin. Look how itty bitty. That's going to be nice and tender. That doesn't mean if these stalks are kind of big that you can't use them. No big deal. Just trim them down with a vegetable peeler. Okay, I'm also going to grab some basil while I'm in here. And some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. That's going to be for a dressing that we're making. Let's see. Oh, let's grab this bowl up here. I need that. Get on up here. Okay, while the beans are getting going here, let's trim up our asparagus. Just pull that off. Now, asparagus, I've shown you this trick before, right? We all know this one. You hold the asparagus at both ends and give it a snap. And that is your guideline on where to cut. Now, these are so beautiful and tender. This is going to make wonderful soup, so I'm definitely going to save those. These aren't quite ready to go in yet. I'm going to let those beans work a couple of minutes first. Let's build a better salad dressing, shall we? Now, this dressing is a really great little dip for breadsticks or pieces of bread at parties as well. Very, very yummy. It's kind of a knockoff of a pesto sort of a thing. What we're going to do is I'm going to save some of my flat leaf parsley that I have left here to use the leaves in the salad. Just pull them right off. And I'm going to take, let's say about a half a cup or so, and put that in the bottom of the food processor. Now I'm going to add a handful, about a half a cup or so of nice fresh basil leaves as well. I thought basil would be great in the salad dressing because we used fennel in the oven, in the cod in the oven, and the flavors are very related. They're both a little licoricey. Excellent. Now we need the zest and juice of a lemon. This is going to be nice and bright and springy. Isn't it going to taste delicious with the asparagus and the beans? A couple of teaspoons of zest in there. So we're just about good to go. Then we'll get the juice. That's our acid in our dressing. Squeeze it cut side up so that the seeds stay with the lemon and not in your dressing. If you want to get all the juices out of your lemon, it doesn't feel like it's going to give them to you, pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. 10 seconds ought to do it, and it'll make the juices run clean. Now, it looks like my green beans are starting to come along now. They're starting to look like they're cooking up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add my asparagus. This is only to take 1 minute, if that, those little tender pieces of asparagus. So we'll just pop those in there. Now, a really generous handful, about a quarter cup or so of grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese is going to go into the dressing next. Then we'll pop the lid on, let her rip, and stream in about 1/3 cup of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to take the top off so that goes quicker for me. That looks about right to me. And just let it rip for a second there so it gets well combined and nice and smooth. Isn't that pretty? And it's wonderful for cooked steamed shrimp dressed with just a little bit of lemon juice on it and salt. Or, as I said, bread or breadsticks. It's a wonderful little dip and dressing. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Look at that color. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to let that hang out here. Now I'm going to get this asparagus and green bean combination out of the hot water so we can cold shock it. And you can do that in a big bowl full of ice, or you can just run it under cold water at your sink. I have to take a quick break. I'm just going to get my steamy green beans and asparagus all chilled out. Then I'll meet you right back here. welcome back. I'm all steamed up today. I've been cooking for less than 20 minutes, and I have my entree already done and steaming away in the oven. It's called cod in a sack. It's cod layered with sliced fennel and onions and garlic, and there's some crushed olives in there, and a little parsley, and the fronds from the fennel up on top. Delish. So it's working away. I'm working on salad. I cooked up some green beans and pencil thin asparagus here. I cooled them down by running them under cold water, or you could put it in a big bowl of icy water. Then I put them on a clean kitchen towel to get them all dried off because I don't want a watery salad. I already made my salad dressing too. I did quite a bit of work in a short amount of time, huh? This was just a combination of basil and parsley ground up with lemon juice and cheese and olive oil. Delish. Okay, now I'm just lining up our little soldiers here, and I'm cutting them into thirds on a little bit of an angle. Asparagus and green beans alike. One last big batch here. Here we go. And now we're going to add a little bit of red onion to it and some nice ripe tomatoes. Let's get a salad bowl, huh, to get this out of the way here. Get some salad going on. This is such a pretty easy menu, and it's perfect any time of the year because it's going to come all steamy out of the oven. But you know, this would be a really lovely late spring or early autumn dinner, wouldn't it? Because it's so refreshing and pretty and healthful. And that's the time of the year where you're still thinking about summer one way or another, you know what I mean? And you want to start eating lighter and more healthy. Let's do red onion and tomato next. Just a good sized red onion here. I think I'll just do half. You don't want the onion to overpower everything that's going on. As I said, when I was a little girl, we had the good fortune of being born to a mom who worked in the restaurants. So she used all the different cooking methods and all sorts of different flavors and techniques at home. We're all good eaters, actually, in my family. No fussies. No fussy eaters. Well, my mom, she used to say, and she wouldn't stand for that anyway. She was more of a, oh, that's what's for dinner, period. You know, as we grow up, though, she likes to spoil us. So we, want to come home more and hang out. So now she'll make 2 or 3 different dinners for the same occasion to keep all of us kids happy and give us our favorites. But when we were little, it was more like, that's what's for supper. Eat it or go hungry. I'm just seeding my plum tomatoes here over my garbage bowl, getting out some of the liquid. Again, I've got so much moisture going on already with the dressing. I really want everything to stay nice and crisp and not get all soupy on me. Now I'm cutting from the inside out for stability's sake for my tomatoes here, just running my knife through. And everything will have sort of the same shape and size in the bowl. It'll be nice, all tossed up together. Fabulous. Let's pour our dressing down over the top. And give it a little salt and pepper. There we go. Now let's toss it up and see how we're doing. We'll give it a taste once we get it all coated evenly. Tongs will do us just fine here. I'm going to give it a taste. Pretty good. I'm going to give it a little shot more pepper. And then we're going to crumble up some cheese on top. I have to take a quick break. I'm just going to clean up a little, finish tossing my salad. I'll meet you right back here in a couple minutes. Welcome back. I'm Rachel Ray, and I've got a steamy, delicious dinner in the oven. It's called cod in a sack. I'm just finishing off my salad, though. I adjusted my salt and pepper to taste, and I just added some whole leaves of flat leaf parsley into the salad. Gives it a nice little snap in there. I've got a combination of thinly sliced red onion, ripe tomatoes, green beans, and asparagus, and I dressed it in a lovely herb dressing. It's a basil parsley dressing with lemon and Parmigiano Reggiano and EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. And now I'm going to crumble in some goat cheese just right on top now that's all tossed up. You could also use some ricotta salata, that'd be great. Or you could use little feta crumbles, that'd be fine too. Even some Boursin cheese, that garlic and herb cheese that's semi-soft, that would crumble up and be delicious on top as well. And it just kind of brightens it up. See that? And makes it really pop. Adds a nice creamy texture to our salad. Excellent. I think that looks good to go. What do you think? Okay. I'm going to go get the cod in a sack out of the oven. 425 oven for about 20 minutes. We didn't even have to check it once. Wait till you see how pretty this turns out here. Get these down. Oh, it smells insane. You can smell everything in there. I'm gonna grab some kitchen scissors to cut this open for you and show you. You don't see my scissors, I'll just use a little knife here. I'm gonna open this up and reveal our steamy deliciousness. Look at that, huh? How gorgeous is that? Can you get right down in there? Look at that. You got the cod. Look how tender the fennel and the onion and how lovely the crushed garlic is just falling apart there. Lots of green olives, black olives, fennel fronds, parsley, steamy, flaky, delicious cod. Look at that, gorgeous. And what a pretty presentation. Pop that on a plate and cut them open at the dinner table. Put the pretty salad right alongside. It's easy, it's fast, it's extremely healthful, and steaming keeps all the good nutrients in the pack with the fish and the veggies. Nothing escapes. We're all out of time for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel Ray, and remember, a great steamy 30-minute meal, it's never more than 30 minutes away. Enjoy.